Joining me now from Beijing is Qinduo Xu. He's a political analyst with China Radio International. Let's talk a little bit about this gathering. The ministers agreeing to a negotiating framework for the South China Sea Code of Conduct. How big a deal is this, do you think?
Well, this framework for COC has been in the making for more than a decade. So it is very important progress here. Now, finally, foreign ministers, basically all countries like ASEAN countries and China agreed to adopt such a framework for working out a more detailed, more substantive code of conduct. Basically, you will produce more norms that will guide the behavior of the countries in this region and also will guide their cooperation. The purpose is really to diffuse potential tensions, potential disputes, so to maintain a long-term peace and stability. And I think, China and ASEAN countries, they have this so-called Asian approach. The immediate the goal is not really to resolve the disputes, because it will take probably a very long time to finally resolve the disputes, but at least the priority is to maintain peace and stability. Well, you have the differences, but still countries can cooperate with each other with prioritizing their common prosperity and good neighborly relationship, and the framework of Belt and Road Initiative, a lot of investment in infrastructure, and that's what really badly needed for ASEAN countries.
It's interesting, though, some aren't sure that this really will be an instrument to settle disputes. I want to get your thoughts on that. It appears to be that there are differences among China and some member states. Can it at least pave the way to some kind of general stability and perhaps create a framework where they can move forward?
Yes, this is the purpose, you have this framework, and we are expecting some substantive articles, I would say very detailed articles to guide the behaviors of the relevant countries in this region. As this Foreign Ministry of the Philippines said about this code of conduct based on the framework, the spokesperson for the Foreign Ministry basically said that this is a commitment by China and ASEAN countries to achieving substantive and also effective code of conduct to maintain peace, general peace and stability in this region. If you look at the past year, peace and tranquility prevails in this region. Basically, with this, let's say, ASEAN approach, consensus-based and also focusing on dialogue and talk, basically between China and the Philippines. So the relationship get back on right track. They have the disputes. They talked about the joint development in the disputed area, and also they talked about these maintaining good relationship through dialogue. If you look at if you compare that approach to, say, not long ago, the British Foreign Minister Boris Johnson talked about sending two aircrafts to South China Sea. This show of force will not solve the problem, and will only create more tensions.
Mr. Xu, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us from Beijing.